morning YouTube, Paul Bates here, day 77, Monday, and we're going to really start talking about what it's going to take on a project like doing the Great Loop in a motor trawler. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here at the end of the video. And right now, just like last week, what I did for money, and one thing that I did do is buy some XRP and I bought some Ethereum with my cryptos. Didn't buy any stocks, didn't move any stocks. Stocks are doing really well right now. And so we just left everything alone with that account. This week, we have an appointment with our financial advisor, and we'll start forming a plan on what money we could use, if any, for the trip, which I doubt there will be any money for the trip. It's all money that we've had just in savings and the money that we sell the house. That's going to be a big item for us. When we sell the house, whatever money's left over after it, it's going to be somewhere around, I don't know, 70-ish thousand, 60, 70,000. That's the money that we're going to use to buy the trawler. And then we have other funds to do other things to the boat and to do the trip. But we're also going to be looking at ways to generate income during the trip. And one of those ways is I have an eBay store. I've always had it. And this last year, just out of fluke, we've got folded metal on there, and we sell our bracket for the Bofang radio. So this little bracket right here, I make 10% on every single one of these brackets that are sold, and we do sell them on our eBay store. And we also sell them on the website, or on, we have a folded metal store. And that's for these little radios right here, which I'll promote these radios all the way through. This happens to be a rugged radio. But the little bracket works great, and it was a great little fit for my eBay store, and I'm going to find more products like that because it's basically just a drop ship. It's not a whole lot of work for me, and I make a little bit of money off of it. And we're going to be looking for more things like that. That's how we'll finance this trip. So that's just an update on the money. Also this week, one of the trawlers that we've been looking at actually sold. So that's good news. It just shows. And when I say they sold, it hasn't sold yet, but somebody put a deposit on it, and they're going to try and close the deal this week. So we'll see if it happens. If it doesn't happen, last week I got the news on another one that was supposedly sold, but then the people contacted me and said, hey, it hasn't sold yet. The other people backed out. So you'll see that a lot. So one thing about these old trawlers that you got to really be careful with, and I'll talk about it more on Wisdom Wednesday of this week, is the fiberglass on these old boats. Because we're looking at boats that are anywhere from built in probably the early 80s, so anywhere from 80 to 85 range, somewhere around there. And those boats, there's problems with them. They're just fiberglass is, they're pretty much their life is. I don't want to say their life is over, but they've stretched their span. And for the era that they were built, they did their job. And if they were taken care of properly, they're in good shape. But it'd be very rare that happened with any of them, because when moisture gets into the fiberglass, it can do damage. When the engine oil gets into the fiberglass, it can do damage. It rots the glass. So you got to be very careful. And I'll talk about it on Wisdom Wednesday, but it's definitely something, that they all have it. They're all going to have the rotten fiberglass, no matter what boat it is. I don't care how well it was taken care of. There's going to be a little bit of it somewhere on the boat. And that's why they're not worth a whole lot of money either. So, but there's a lot of people that, think that they're worth $70,000, $50,000, $70,000, $80,000. I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to grab that, but there's people that don't do the homework, and some of them will pay it. And it's also, I think, has to do with where we're at in the economy and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens here. Anyway, this week I'm also going to start. Last week I told you guys or 2 weeks ago we were going to start a solar project. I'll put up a link here for the last solar video that I did. I love solar power. It's going to be a big thing on the boat. It'll be a big thing even getting ready and prepping the boat. And what I have right now is, you guys know, you follow the channel, anybody that follows the channel religiously, which isn't very many of you, but I have a 16-foot trailer. So what I'm going to do is add 2 solar panels to that. a set of 6-volt batteries, and then put an inverter on there and put a freezer in there. So when I make my move, I can put all the stuff from our refrigerator or from our freezer, because her food is frozen. So it's when we feed her fresh raw food, and so it's important to me. And the system is something that I can try out for the trawler, or even when we're out at the Fish River and when we're out on the property. It's like a backup. So it's basically I'm building a solar generator and a freezer to store stuff in case of an emergency, basically. So I think it serves two purposes, and I'll do it relatively inexpensive. I mean, I'll have less than $1,000 in the entire project. I'm going to pick up my panels used, probably buy a new trawler for the panels, and then I'll probably buy a new inverter. So that's what we're going to work on this week, and we're going to really start working on doing something for the eBay store. That's the couple projects that we're going to do this week. So anyway, Paul Bates, Daisy, we love you guys. Peace out. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for another Tech Tuesday, and figure out what subject we're going to talk about. Anyway, love you guys. Peace out. Bye.